Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome to the Manchester United versus Newcastle Watchalong Carabao Cup round tonight. Looking forward to it. A lot of changes for both teams. It's going to be an interesting match. Newcastle probably with more swaps and alterations than I expected. Going into this, I thought they'd go a little bit stronger on paper, of course, although you might not have to go too strong on paper to beat Manchester United at the minute. It looks like I have no video. Hold on one second, guys. There we go. We good now? Am I back now? Yeah, there we go. We're back. Yeah, guys, looking forward to this one, of course. The team news is on the right-hand side of me now. We've got Andre Onana in goal. Right back is going to be Diogo Dalot. Centre-backs, Lindelof and Maguire. Left-back is Sergio Reguilon. Not too many alterations there because there's not a lot of personnel fit in that back line. Big changes coming in the midfield. It's an entirely different midfield three than what we saw against Manchester City. I cannot complain whatsoever about that. So we have Casemiro, we have Mason Mount and Hannibal, and then a forward three of Anthony, Garnacho and Anthony Martial. So that is Manchester United's team going into this one. How are we feeling about this one? It's going to be an interesting one. Rafa Varane not in the squad, of course. Let me quickly pull up the subs as well, go through the bench options for tonight. But of course, the big story is Bruno and Rashford both left out of this match. Scott McTominay not starting either, although I'm not too bothered about that one whatsoever. It's a big night for some of those players. I think Garnacho's got to have a good match tonight. I think Martial needs to as well. Anthony desperately needs some form. But yeah, I mean, there's really a lot of things going on in this match and a lot of alterations for Manchester United, of course. Quick look, of course, at the the Newcastle team as well. So Martin Dubravka's starting goal. I believe he played once for Manchester United in that loan spell that he did actually have at the club. Then a lot of alterations in the back line. Dummett coming in, Target as well. Midfield. I mean, we should be beating this Newcastle team fairly convincingly at Old Trafford, but of course things haven't been convincing all season long at Manchester United, and we really should be out here beating these guys very comfortably. Right back, who they got? Livermento, they got Kraft, they've got Hall, Sean Longstaff in midfield, Joe Willock, Ritchie, Joe Linton, Gordon. I mean, Joe Linton spent the last 18 months playing as a centre midfielder, and he's up front for Newcastle tonight. So really, no excuses whatsoever. Manchester United have to go out and beat this Newcastle team and beat them however we can. Look, ultimately, do we expect a top-level performance from this Manchester United team? I really don't think we can. I don't think we do. Looks in the comments. It's good to see you, man. I hope all's good. Talking about Northampton, yeah, I've seen you guys got beat as well last night by Derby County. I think it was 4-0 in the end. Yeah, I mean, sure to be disappointing, and of course your assistant manager's leaving as well. Guys, get those votes in down below. What's the match predictions tonight? Will it be a win, a draw, a loss? Let me know down below. I'm not 100% sure how this is really going to work out tonight either. If we do end up drawing in the 90 minutes, does it go to extra time penalties on the night, or do we find ourselves with a replay? I really hope it's not a replay. I don't think it is, thankfully. But get those likes in as well. Get those votes down below. Let me know your thoughts on the team news tonight. The bench tonight for United is quite interesting. Altay Bayanda, Johnny Evans, Wan-Bissaka, Amrabat, Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen, McTominay, Højlund and Rashford. So there is definitely some quality on that bench for Manchester United. We should really not be requiring the bench to beat this Newcastle team tonight. Look, if it was first team against first team, I think Newcastle probably have the edge on us, but they are struggling as well. Not with form, I think they're more struggling with their overall fitness and their overall ability to keep those players ready, and I think it's just the 3 matches a week taking the toll on that team. But get those thoughts in down below, guys. Thanks very much for the 10 likes so far on the video. Much appreciated. And yeah, look, I'm looking forward to this one. Hopefully we're going to see a good and convincing United performance, but those have been few and far between. But I like that midfield. I think there's a lot of legs in there. I think good recovery players, good second ball players, and it's going to be how we play the ball out of the back line that's really going to count. Because if we can get it into that midfield, there's definitely the options in there and the ability in Hannibal and Mount to really progress the ball nicely. And I'm looking forward to it. I think Casemiro coming back in will be important. Look, you guys know I have been critical of the man this season so far, but we do need him back to form, and I think that's the real disappointment with Casemiro so far this season. Is it's more down to his overall performances, because we know how good he was last year as compared to this year. Massive difference, of course. But guys, get those votes in. 69% going for the United win in this one, 15 for the draw, 15 for the loss. Most guys feeling confident. I feel like the Newcastle team is probably factoring into some people's confidence. But look, this will be an interesting match. I'm looking forward to it. United versus Newcastle, you can get a good game out of these two teams as well, but definitely going to be a big night. And this really is must-win territory for Erik Ten Hag, especially moving forward. It really is. Whenever we consider that we've got this match tonight, probably the only opportunity to get silverware this season. Then we have Fulham at the weekend, must-win Premier League. Then we play Copenhagen, and that, of course, will also be must-win if we want to stay in the Champions League. So 3 big matches, we have to win them. If we end up losing 3 from 3 or whatever, 2 from 3, I think Erik Ten Hag is going to find himself under a lot of pressure and a lot of criticism, both from within the club and from the outside, even more so than he is already facing. He's got to turn up tonight. We have to put in a good performance. We have to put a shift in. We have to actually be able to do well tonight, and hopefully that's going to make a big difference. Just in the other matches, it is currently 1-0 to Everton. James Kartowski have just scored for them, and I think it's still 1-0 to West Ham as well. Goal going in from a corner kick. Really a bizarre one there as well. Fulham beating Ipswich as well, for anybody who is interested in that there one. But yeah, look, we're about 7 or 8 minutes to kick off. Teams are getting ready to head out onto the pitch. It's a big night for this Manchester United team. It's a big night for Erik Ten Hag, and he's got to deliver. This team has to deliver, and hopefully with the alterations, with these changes, we can put in a good performance tonight and go through. I think that is absolutely imperative. And of course, the draw will be at 10:45 tonight, so we'll probably end up staying on for the draw as well, I reckon. See who we hopefully get in the next round, but of course, we're not going to count. We're not going to count that until we are well over the line, until that full-time whistle goes. But something to keep an eye out on as well. Don't be counting on it too early. And yeah, look, must win for United. Absolutely imperative that we go through in this competition. Probably the only opportunity to really get some silverware this year, if we're being brutally honest with ourselves. And it's unfortunate because I know we want to be saying things can bounce back, but it's got to start bouncing soon. Otherwise, we're just in free fall. And who knows how far we can end up dropping this season. Who knows how far we'll end up spiraling out of control. But for anyone who did miss it, of course, team use is on my right-hand side. It's Onana, it's Delot, it's Maguire, it's Lindelof. Then we got Reguilon at left-back. We've got a midfield 3 tonight of Casemiro, Hannibal Mejbri, and Mason Mount. And a forward 3 of Anthony, Garnacho, and Martial. So plenty of changes in there from the weekend. An entirely different midfield 3. I feel like it's a better midfield 3 than what we fielded against Man City at the weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. I think I cannot complain with Marcus Rashford not playing this one, with Bruno Fernandes. Hopefully they can have a night off, and maybe that little bit of respite might help them perform better in the coming matches. But I don't know. It's an opportunity. I think this is a big opportunity for the likes of Garnacho, for Mason Mount, Hannibal, to really say, yeah, do you know what, Bruno, Rashford, guys like this, they're not playing well. They can go out and put a good shift in tonight and a good performance, and they're going to make it hard for them to be ignored by the manager. And I think that's so important. We've seen this under Erik Ten Hag, where these rotations haven't always gone to plan, where we want to rotate, but the level of performance from the players on the bench and the squad players, the fringe guys, has been so poor that we really can't. At the minute and how we're playing at the moment, I think we definitely have a way that we for these guys to really stick a claim. If you're Garnacho, go out tonight, play with confidence, play with desire, show exactly what Marcus Rashford is not at the minute. If you're Mason Mount, be tidy on the ball, make some opportunities, play well, be disciplined, and you'll probably end up playing at the weekend, probably play against Copenhagen, and that has to be the incentive tonight. And we've been saying this all week in the press. Leaks coming out of Manchester United, Ten Hag favouritism, Ten Hag not picking certain players. Go out there and make it impossible for him to ignore you. Go out and make it impossible for him to not pick you in that next match. And that's how you become a Manchester United player. You don't get given it, you got to go out and you got to earn it. And hopefully these players are going to do that tonight. Teams are heading out onto the tunnel. It's a big night at Old Trafford. Really is a must-win match. I can't see us winning any other silverware this season. I mean, Premier League's gone. Champions League, we're never going to win that. I would be absolutely stunned if we did anything really in those competitions. So outside of Carabao Cup and FA Cup, I can't see another trophy for Manchester United this year. And with the teams knocked out of the League Cup at the moment, Man City in particular, you know, that has to be something we're looking at and saying this is the most realistic opportunity to actually win something this season. Thanks very much for joining in with us tonight, guys. Getting ready for kickoff as well. If you guys want to get those votes in on the poll, let me know your thoughts, your predictions for this one. Drop a like as well, would be very, very appreciated. And yeah, look, we are out on the pitch. We're getting ready for this, and let's hope that Manchester United can at least put in a shift, at least put in a performance, or get a result tonight. I think that is absolutely imperative. We have to be going through in this competition. Newcastle made a lot of changes for tonight, a lot of alterations. They're obviously looking at Arsenal at the weekend. They're looking at Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League next week, and that has to be something we take advantage of. Absolutely imperative that we do so. I'm looking forward to this one, guys. We're getting closer to kickoff. I'm going to get the timer set up and ready as well. Let me just turn down the mic. I think it's a little bit loud. Yeah, I think that there should be better. Yeah, guys, let me know if you guys can hear me okay. And yeah, look, we'll get the old stop clock up as well. Give me a second here. There we go. So all ready for that one. Of course, plenty of alterations for both teams. United looking stronger tonight on paper, but we haven't been strong all season. It's been a massive struggle this year. Let's hope the Cups can provide a nice respite from the Champions League feelings and the Premier League feelings. And let's hope we can win this match tonight. United fans are owed a performance by this lot after the last match against City at Old Trafford. It's good to have this match so soon that we can bounce back and that the momentum doesn't fester and that it isn't a constant air of negativity. We have an opportunity to go out tonight, respond well, beat Newcastle, a good team, and a very, very well-performing team across the last 12 months. Go out, beat them, and get into that next round. That has to be Manchester United's goal. That has to be the ambition for tonight. And make no mistake about it, this will be difficult. They're going to work hard. They're an honest team that Eddie Howe has picked here as well. Who have we got down below? We can see first comments going in. Sniper Pads, rumor saying that Scholes incoming as interim manager if they lose. Glazers and Jim out. I don't think Paul Scholes will be going into management, not after the Oldham debacle, but I mean, United probably are looking out for interim managers as well, if that's going to be the way things go. But I can't see anything happening until the takeover is confirmed, until the Radcliffe buy-in is done and formalised and announced. I can't really see too much changing in that way. So Erik Ten Hag might be hitting the bad form at an opportunistic time where maybe he will find himself being able to cling on because of everything going on, because Glazers will not sack Ten Hag at this moment in time. They absolutely will not. Not with Radcliffe coming in, not when there's a £15 million termination clause in Ten Hag's contract. So we're gonna find we will get the answers to those questions very, very soon. We're just about ready to kick off here as well. Manchester United kicking us off tonight. No VAR. I'm sure you guys will be glad to hear that one. And here we go, getting ready. Hannibal and it looks like Anthony Martial kicking us off. And we are underway at Old Trafford. On our way, and United kicking the ball back to Harry Maguire. We're going to start off at the back, hopefully going to play through the press if possible, and hopefully put in a decent shift as well tonight. That has to be what Erik Ten Hag is demanding. That has to be what Manchester United fans need. It has to be what Manchester United players deliver, a good performance. These are the guys who the leaks are coming from about favouritism, about not getting picked, about not playing matches. Go out and prove us wrong. Prove us that you deserve to start matches of football. Absolutely. Go out there and put a shift in. Garnacho and Martial, Anthony, Mount, Hannibal, players like that. Go earn your place in that team. Because right now, those positions are there for the taking. And if any United player starts playing well, scoring goals, putting in really good performances, and working hard, they'll probably find themselves in the team. This is probably the easiest time to get into this team. Really hard to break into a team when things are going well. But when things are down and everybody else's heads are dropping, if you can be one of those players who keeps your head up, keeps working hard, and doing what the manager needs you to do, you're going to find yourself picked. Free kick for Newcastle here at the minute. It looks like Casemiro has absolutely clattered in to the Newcastle man there on the halfway line. Thankfully, no cards seem to be coming out as well. What are your thoughts for tonight's match, guys? How are we feeling looking at that lineup? I can't lie, like, I like the midfield. I'm impressed with it. I think on paper it looks really good. Let's see what it delivers throughout the 90 minutes. Let's see if that is going to translate into any kind of good performance or some hard work in that midfield area. Been one of the problem areas this season. We talk about defensive injuries, lack of goals in the forward line, but I think as well we've got to be talking about the lack of control in midfield, the lack of energy, the lack of passing, and the lack of chances being made. It's a good opportunity for Mount and for Hannibal to go out there and put a good performance in. Match hasn't really got going due to an injury to a Newcastle player here so far. And yeah, I mean, we're pretty much just waiting for things to resume. Physio onto the pitch for them as well. So not too much happening in the first minute or two. Luman's in the comments. Good to see you, Luman. Hope all's good. Thanks for hopping on in with us. And yeah, look, this is going to be an interesting match tonight. United's got to be putting some kind of shift in. Absolutely. And look, if the players aren't playing for Erik Ten Hag, play for yourself. Like, go out and put a shift in, not for him, but for you, if that's genuinely how you feel. Because the next manager is going to look at it and he'll say, hold on, Rashford, Bruno, you guys didn't play well under Ten Hag. But then he'll turn and say, Martial, Mount, Lindelof, Reguilon, players like these, you know, you guys were given the opportunity to displace some players in the team who weren't playing well enough all season, and you couldn't do it. You didn't look bothered to do it. Nobody deserves a start, and as much as we want to say first teamers should be dropped when needed, those guys on the bench have got to be, they got to be showing more as well. Absolutely. Let's see. Luman's asking, am I happy with the lineup? I'm happy in some regards. Yeah, I like the midfield completely. New midfield three. Not too many other options really. If we're looking at the back line, I mean, Delo's the only fit right back. Varane is not going to play tonight due to injury. So the only change we could have made in the back line was to bring Johnny Evans in. That's pretty much it. Forward line, yeah, I mean, dropping Rashford, that's good. I would have maybe liked to have seen Pellistri on the right, but that's probably about it. I get resting Højlund as well. He looks like he's being managed. Probably not ready, just with the back injury and everything he got over the summer. You know, that still can flare up as well, so it's probably a good idea to manage his minutes. And Anthony Martial's a good replacement to have at this moment in time. Got an offside here against Delo. Was a promising position there. Nice ball by Casemiro to find him. I'm expecting to see more from Casemiro, a player who I really think plays better when he has some rest. I feel like the legs maybe aren't as strong as what they once were with Casemiro, but look, I don't think he's been good enough this season. I've questioned his long-term suitability several times on the channel, but if he can turn up and start putting those performances in again this year that he put in last year, if he can get back to that level, that's going to help Manchester United out so much. But this does look like a team that it's missing something, and I think what it's missing is Luke Shaw and Luke Shaw for one, but mostly Lissandro Martinez as well. So important in how we actually build up from the back and playing out and moving the ball forward, and his aggression is really good as well. Hannibal has just pushed Martin Dubravka off the pitch, so we're in for one of those gutsy performances from Hannibal. It's good to see him on the pitch. I can't lie, like, I'm a fan of him. I am. I think there's a quality player in there, but I think a lot of people get drawn towards his kind of the aggression in his play and his work rate as well, which is very good. But he is definitely a very good player. Some other changes I would have liked to have seen. I mean, if Kobbie Mainoo was ready to play, I would have liked to see him in this one. But he did play last night against Salford City in the EFL Cup, so that's probably a good thing for him. Playing against first teamers, even if it is League Two, those are still grown men he's playing against, working his way back to fitness, and that's going to help him a lot. So I wouldn't expect to see Kobbie Mainoo probably this side of the international break. Maybe afterwards, when we play the likes of Luton Town, Everton will have some Champions League matches, some more League Cups, and of course the big run-in over the Christmas period. But I think Kobbie Mainoo is a player I think needs to come into this team as soon as possible. I've seen enough to think that he deserves to be in there, probably better than a lot of the other midfielders we currently have. So at the minute, around 6 minutes in, not too much has really happened, mostly because of the injury suffered. I think it was Matt Targett went down. It looks like Miguel Almiron will come on at some point. And yeah, I mean, not too much has happened in the first 5 minutes, mostly been stopped for that injury. But Manchester United trying to get things going now, playing it around from the back. Garnacho on the ball, Lindelof, back to Harry Maguire, to Casemiro. Risky ball there, but it did just fall to Reguilon, and that will be a free kick as well for Manchester United. What's the thoughts, guys, so far? Of course, we will refresh the match prediction poll at half-time, because there's been times we've been getting beat at half-time and nobody can change their vote, so we want to change that as well. Long ball attempted there, looking for Hannibal. It's gone pretty harmlessly out of possession as well. So going to be a goal kick to Newcastle, and Martin Dubravka, of course, I think he might have played once or twice for United, and I think that's why he couldn't play the League Cup final, was because obviously he would be cupped out. I think that was the issue there, but I'm looking and I'm thinking we can get towards him as well. Luke says we will be joining in with the rest of the EFL minutes applause ahead of this evening to pay tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton. That's good to hear, Luke, as well. It's good to see the respect. Obviously, Sir Bobby, a very beloved figure, not just at United, but throughout all of English football. World Cup winner, did a lot for the sport. Very, very good man by all accounts, and I haven't seen anybody speak a bad word about Sir Bobby, so it's good to see him get the respect he deserves. Obviously, very tragic passing of a genuine legend of football as well. But yeah, look, it's good to see the tributes going in there as well. A bit of class from a lot of teams, and it's good to see. Manchester United trying to press at the minute. Martial kind of just jogging about, if we're being honest. Trying to stop Newcastle playing out from the back. Now, I think with this back line, we can maybe get at them in that regard. I'm not going to think that they'll be playing the ball about as well if they had the likes of Bruno Guimaraes on the pitch, making that kind of difference. Fabian Schär, Botman. So, definitely can be got at. It'd be an interesting battle on the left-hand side. Garnacho against Livramento. Two young players going at it right from the first minute. Garnacho winning a throw-in for Manchester United. Reguilon now trying to recover the ball as well. And we're back to Harry Maguire. So, around about 8 minutes gone, not too much really has happened in this one, if we're being honest. Mostly because of that long injury stoppage. But we're trying to get the game going now. United, no real shot as such for anybody. And a couple of interesting ideas, but nothing quite coming off just yet. And I think we need to keep the ball on the ground, play good football, play those passes, don't be looking long, and just try to put 5, 6, 7 passes together, get through Newcastle, and hopefully then we can make some opportunities. Anthony's got it now on the right-hand side. He's up against, I think it's Paul Dummett, or maybe it's Matt Targett. Either way, he has just lost the ball. I don't know, man. Anthony's one of those players. I was saying all summer long the guy needs a big improvement this year. You know, those glimpses last year, but really, if we're being honest with ourselves, really has Anthony done anything in his United career of note? I really don't think he has. Thanks very much as well, guys, for 15 likes. I know these midweek streams can be quite quiet because already it's half 8 as well, and we're only 10 minutes into this one as well. So thanks very much for that there one, guys, much appreciated. Keep voting on the poll as well. 55% going for the win, 14 for the draw, and 32% going for the loss in this one. And Newcastle trying to play the ball out now as well, going long with it. Not a bad idea. I think Victor Lindelof is going to get targeted tonight as well. I'm expecting to see Joe Linton kind of peel off onto him, look for flick-ons to Anthony Gordon and players like that. Maguire now clipping the ball out to Reguilon. Nice pass that by Harry Maguire, to be fair, but no real penetration. And I think we're seeing the same kind of issues happen again and again. Seems to be a very, very big gap between Hannibal and Mason Mount and Casemiro. Casemiro doesn't seem to have a 10-yard pass on at any point when receiving the ball, and I think that's a concern because it's just meaning he's having to play riskier and less successful passes to try find his midfield teammates, and that's just giving us the ball away again there. And something we do need to watch out on is get close, got to stay together on that pitch and be available for the passes. You know, there's no point driving forward looking to burst beyond the lines if the ball's not going to come to you. You've got to get the ball in the first place. You know, that's absolutely essential. 11 minutes gone. United's got a free kick, for an offside, I believe. And yeah, look, pretty nondescript first 11 minutes, if we're being honest with ourselves. Not a lot going on in this one so far. Can't really say what team's been better either, because nothing of note whatsoever has really happened. It's mostly just scrapping in and around the middle of the pitch, things breaking down a little bit. So Onana to take this one, and he's going along with it again. I just don't think the long ball's working. I really don't think it's happening. I mean, these long balls and pragmatic football, like the players just don't seem cut out for it. They really don't. But we just got to keep going, keep plugging away, and keep hoping we can get in. Martial's won the ball over here now on the left-hand side. Plays it back to Garnacho. Nice touch. Looks like it might have gone outside, but Anthony knocks it down to Casemiro. Casemiro with a shot and straight at Dubravka. But that is the first real glimpse of United doing anything in this match. Not a bad bit of play. Garnacho just kept it in, found Anthony well, but he couldn't take it under control. And by the time he flicked the ball back to Casemiro, the goalkeeper was set. It was a pretty routine save, in all fairness there. So we could have made more of that situation, probably. We've won the ball back again. Not been too bad in the first 13 minutes. The pressing has been working well. I feel like we're going to get that with Garnacho in there, Mount, and Hannibal as well. Some genuine work rate in there for a change, which is a lot better than what we have seen in recent matches. We're going along a lot to Anthony Martial, and whilst Rasmus Højlund might win some of those heading duels, I don't think we're going to see too much from Anthony Martial. Looks to be a yellow card here for Hannibal. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Have to get another look at that one. Yeah, I think he's just sort of clattered into Sean Longstaff there and really complained too much about that. Ball was away. It was pretty silly there from Hannibal, and that is one of the things with Hannibal. You know, he can sometimes be overly aggressive. I don't know. He gives us a lot of energy. He might be a red card walking sometimes, but I think we need him tonight. I think we need that kind of work rate and energy, desire in that midfield area. What have we got? 22 votes so far in the poll as well. 55% going for United win, 14% for the draw, and 32% going for the loss. It's an interesting start to this one. Casemiro's jumped into tackle and he's out of possession now, and he has given the free kick away as well. And it looks like Casemiro's about to pick up a booking, perhaps here for a tackle on Joe Willock. I mean, yeah, Willock was gone. It was cynical. I think he knew what he was doing. He just kind of stood in the way, knocked him over. I think, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of rustiness there from Casemiro, in my opinion. What's the thoughts so far, guys? Get them in down below. It's a free kick now, Matt Ritchie to take it, and I think he does have a pretty good left foot on him as well, so we need to defend this well, need to pick up the runners, got to do better than what we did against City. They got a lot of opportunities from these kind of set piece areas at the weekend, so we got to be picking up the runners, got to be picking up the men. So yeah, Ritchie now with the ball in. Newcastle player goes up for it. It's going to go out probably for a corner kick here as well, off Victor Lindelof. So Newcastle get another go at it. United got to defend again. And yeah, Ritchie to take again. It wasn't a bad delivery, in all fairness, there from Matt Ritchie, but hopefully we can clear the corner, and hopefully we can maybe spring the counter-attack. We've seen it a couple of times this season. It is something we have up our sleeve, is breaking from corner kicks, and hopefully we can do this again here. Garnacho poised on the edge of the box just in case anything does happen. Ritchie with the ball in now. Harry Maguire should have that, and does, and it's going to drop to Anthony Martial, who should just pass this back to Delo for the clearance. Casemiro, we're trying to play the ball out. Interesting there, and we've won a throw in. Nice idea, trying to play out. Hannibal did get caught under the ball a little bit, but again, it's good to see that we're trying these things and trying to play out. I'd rather try to play the triangles, make our way out, and have a genuine counter-attack, as opposed to just launching the ball up the pitch and it coming straight back at us, because Anthony Martial is many things, but he's not going to dominate in the air. We're not going to see that. Garnacho goes in for the tackle there. Hannibal goes in as well. It's gone against Hannibal, which is an interesting one, because Hannibal was very much adamant that he was the one fouled there. I think he needs to watch himself in this one. Kraft down for Newcastle as well. Yeah, I mean, Hannibal, yeah, I think Hannibal kind of jumped in there a little bit. He needs to watch himself. I feel like he's going to be on a tightrope here, and we can't afford a man to be sent off. We really, really can't. Not in this one. Hannibal is being he's playing a risky game for sure. And I think he needs to be a little bit smarter, because some of those Newcastle players, they will try to beat him. They will try to get that second yellow out. Now, Hannibal's a good player. He works hard, but man, he does overcommit in the tackle sometime as well. So he needs to watch himself, needs to be careful, because a lot of football left to play in this one. And Hannibal probably lucky to avoid that, in all fairness, in that moment there. Needs to be putting a lid on it. Ten Hag maybe needs to call him across. I don't think he'll take him off after 17 minutes, but certainly he does need to watch himself for the rest of this match. Now, United trying to play up again on this left-hand side. Maguire playing it, taking a lot of touches, goes for the switch to Garnacho, takes it down nicely. Garnacho versus Livramento has been an interesting duel so far. Garnacho's just about got the best of him there and can drive on, got the advantage there, but Garnacho does seem to be limping a little bit now after that tackle. I hope everything's okay there. We don't want to see Rashford coming on again. We really don't want to see it. Hannibal has lost out in the tackle. Newcastle breaking now through Joe Willock. Casemiro goes in with the challenge there. Probably going to be a yellow card for Casemiro as well, because that's probably his second foul there. That mostly came from Hannibal losing out there. I think he kind of went to jump into a tackle and realized he's on a yellow card, and maybe he's just thinking, can't get myself sent off here. But Newcastle did have a good break there. It is a yellow card for Casemiro, and within 20 minutes, really, two midfielders on a yellow card, not too good so far. It's been a bit of an odd match. Like, it's not really got going as of yet, really, for either team. There was that one opportunity for Casemiro with the strike from outside the box that was quite easily saved by Martin Dubravka, but that's mostly it. So we got to get playing the ball. We got to get holding on to it in better areas. A lot of possession for United, but so far mostly between Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, struggling really to progress into the midfield. And I don't know if that's a symptom of not having Amrabat, who's very good at dropping in and getting the ball moving forward into those midfield areas. I'm not quite sure. Now, opportunity for Newcastle to put the ball in here. Good cross towards the back post. Looks like it's up and out there by Lindelof. Hannibal breaking. Hasn't really got the support up with him either. Does lose out as well. Newcastle easily retain possession. So, gotta be. I think Hannibal and Casemiro got to watch themselves. Hannibal in particular, I think, could be a walking time bomb in this one. Got to watch the temperament. Got to watch jumping into those tackles, because he will still want to make the tackles, but he's had two, and he could have gone for the second one as well. Already on a yellow. Got to watch himself in these ones. Because Newcastle will just try to aggravate him. They will give him little nudges, little kicks, little stamps on the toes to try to push him over the edge. So he needs to rein it in as well. Just that natural aggression in his game. But I think he's got to be careful here, and Ten Hag will know it as well. Hopefully Casemiro can keep a lid on it as well, but I have more confidence in Casemiro not getting sent off than Hannibal at the minute. Newcastle with another man down now. We seem to be giving away a lot of free kicks. I don't know if this has been given as well, but a lot of fouls, and we're kind of inviting the pressure on ourselves a little bit here with what we're seeing, and especially these free kicks around the penalty box. Newcastle will eventually start to get these deliveries right if we give them so many opportunities. Newcastle now have won the ball. It's a shot from outside the box. It's well over from Matt Ritchie, but again, United a little bit sloppy going out from the back there. Ball didn't fall to Mount, and I mean that shot's ended up nearly in the team tunnel, but can't give them too many opportunities to find their range in this one. Got to keep the ball. We can't keep going along with it as well. We need to keep it on the ground. Play football. Play through the press. We can do it. We've got the players to do it. We just need to be doing it more consistently. Now, we find Mason Mount in midfield. Mount driving forward. Finds Garnacho. Garnacho loses out, and looks like Newcastle will regain that there one. 16 likes on the video as well. Thanks very much for everyone joining in so far. Interestingly enough, Newcastle kind of getting a little bit of a foothold in this one. 60% possession in the last 10 minutes. Good tackle there by Hannibal in his own box. Had to get that one right, really. And now Casemiro can find Mason Mount. Mount carries the ball forward, looking up, trying to find Garnacho, who's dropped back. Garnacho maybe not moving as freely after he did kind of pull up with a little bit of an impact injury after a tackle with Livramento, but hopefully he can grow back into it. We really haven't seen much from either of the Antonys, be it Martial or Antony on the right wing. Although Antony has just got clattered in a tackle there, and I think Joe Willock has pulled his hamstring in that tackle. United coming again. Harry Maguire back to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof looking up for the passing options. They're not really on. He has lost the ball here in a dangerous area, but it's going to fall kindly for us as well. Hopefully going to dribble out. I'm now back with Newcastle. Look, it's been an interesting, 23 minutes so far. Not too much really for either side. I think I want to see United holding the ball more further up the pitch. Daniel's in the comments. Good to see you, man. Hope all's good. Thanks very much for hopping on in here with us. And yeah, look, Newcastle trying to play the ball forwards in back to target as well. Antony putting a little bit of pressure on him. I think he maybe is going to give away the foul here. Nope, referee has pulled it back now for the foul as well, and Newcastle will get the free kick. Antony giving it away there. Look, it's been an interesting first 23-24 minutes. Not too much really going on there as well. But we gotta be just getting more of a stranglehold on possession there. Need to get more on the ball further up the pitch. We're struggling really to move the ball from the back line to the midfield, and as a result the forwards are very isolated. Daniel thinks United will. Depends what United you're talking about there, man, as well. Just a quick update as well. In the Arsenal-West Ham match, it is 2-0 to West Ham. Mohamed Kudus with a goal there for West Ham. And Arsenal looking in danger of going out of this one. Makes this more must-win. The more big teams we see going out, the more chance we have of winning this competition. Daniel says Newcastle's second team aren't strong enough. They're hampered by injuries. Yeah, but I mean, this United team hasn't started this match convincingly either. It's been a poor first 23, 24 minutes so far. Casemiro now with it, trying to play the ball forward. I mean, Lindelof's looking up. There's not too much options. I think we're struggling to get it from backline to midfield, and I think that's where Sofyan Amrabat is very effective for United. And I think our problem really has been getting the ball moving up the pitch quickly in the right ways, finding the right players. I mean, Newcastle are very happy to let Maguire and Lindelof hold the ball in their own half. Like, there's no real danger there, and it just means we're going for these long switches, which just aren't on either. Ronnie says need to take the young lad off before he's sent off. Yeah, Hannibal. I think yeah, another foul. He's probably going to go. The second one he was lucky to get away with. He was, to be fair, and I think he's got to just cool it down. I think Ten Hag's got to call him across and get that message across. He got 20 minutes at half time. I could see him go off as well. That could be something we see. Maybe Christian Eriksen come on if we want to really hold the ball in the middle of the pitch. Maguire now looking for Delot down this right-hand side. Delot scrapping for it, but probably not going to get there. And it's going to go out for a Newcastle throw-in. Bit of a frustrating one. We're mostly being reduced to these kind of long balls like we've seen a lot in the last 2 or 3 months. Really, we're not playing the ball on the ground as much, and that's a concern as well. Daniel, down there, thoughts on Ten Hag right now? Is he still the man? I fully back him. He's had 5 injuries to the backline. Maguire, Lindelof, and Evans aren't ball-playing defenders, and that's really hampered. I mean, yeah, look, I think the injuries haven't helped. I think he still should be getting more out of what he has. I think some of his own decisions are very poor, but I think a lot of United fans have a lot of sympathy as well. I think that's mostly because we've seen this so many times. This drop-off in the second season, this drop-off where the players just don't care and they just don't play anymore, and they're down tools. We've seen it so many times, and the constant running to the newspapers and the press every time someone says boo to you in the training ground. You know, we've seen it so much. We've even seen players complaining that the kits aren't comfy or the socks are too tight. I mean, this is genuinely the level of this, the way these players have been getting on, really, across the last 5-6 years, and probably even longer than that. But interesting tackle there from Maguire. Has won it. Hannibal can drive forward here. He's got Garnacho on the outside. Garnacho, he's waiting for Reguilon to come in and help him. Livramento does well, stands him up and makes a tackle. And now Livramento bursting forward as well. We've got to hit the brakes on this one. Opportunity for Newcastle breaking into the box. And it's 1-0. It is 1-0 to Newcastle. It's Miguel Almiron. Really, 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 really poor ball and really poor goal to give away there. Very avoidable. Very avoidable. Nobody put a tackle in on Livramento. We just let him run through the middle of the pitch, completely unchallenged, completely without any expectation or any real attempt at the ball, and Newcastle find themselves a goal up, and with the run of play, I mean, it's hard to disagree that we don't deserve it either. Look, it comes from Garnacho losing the ball. Garnacho lost it, Reguilon overrun it, but I don't know what Diogo Dalot's doing. Dalot so far out of possession there. Really poor from Dalot. Had no idea the man was on the other side of him. And again, I mean, people talk about Diogo Dalot like he's the next coming of Cafu. The guy has not improved in he has not improved whatsoever in 5 years since he's been at this club, and this myth that he's somehow a good defender, I think it really needs to go as well. What's happened? My overlays just disappeared. Kind of weird. Don't know where my overlays just gone. Hold on. There we go. We're back. We're back. We are back. Okay, so we found ourselves a goal down. I mean, we made no effort to put a tackle in there. We made no effort whatsoever. And Delo's defending absolutely atrocious there. I had no idea Miguel Almiron was behind him as well. Delo again. Seriously, that is a guy who I question his quality. And some people might think he's a good player. Some people might talk about him on Twitter like it's some kind of like edgy thing to do and say, yeah, look, Diogo Dalot's are one of our best players. The guy is trash. The guy. I mean, there's a reason Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted rid of him and to bring Kieran Trippier in. I mean, Ole was not wrong there. Mount jumping in there, trying to get on the ball as well, trying to make the connection. Nothing really happening there. But Delot, for that goal, so poor. No idea what was behind him. Never looked. Not even once. Completely inexcusable. Completely inexcusable. And look, there's nothing at all that Ten Hag can do about that. Like there is literally nothing the coach can do about that kind of goal. But we look a yard off. If we look unfit again, I don't know what we're doing. I really don't. Daniel says we're crying out for Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. I mean, yeah. I mean, he probably does better there. Delo into the box now. Good ball in there. Might drop to Garnacho. Not quite going, and it looks like it's going to be an offside there, unfortunately. But again, I don't know. I mean, I've been saying this about Delo for a long time. I think really I had enough of the guy after the Galatasaray goal when Wilfried Zaha just palmed him off really easy as well. I don't know, guys. I really don't know what the answer is. I mean, we're not getting going at all in this one. Daniel says Wan-Bissaka, a far better defender. Deloney good going forward. I mean, he's not even like he doesn't get assists. His crosses. I mean, he just kind of puts laces through them, and they look visually impressive. But I really don't think there's a player in there. Martial did look like he ducked out of a header there as well on the replay, which is concerning. He should not. He should be trying his best to get on that. But I mean, it's Anthony Martial again. We've been questioning this guy's commitment for the last 7 or 8 years. Garnacho losing out there. Mount trying to put the squeeze on, trying to win the ball back. Going to be a throw into Newcastle. A really slow tempo out of the back. As well, and look, it's just not good enough. This is Manchester United's 10th home game of the season, and we've conceded first in 6 out of 10. It's embarrassing, really. It is. Casemiro with the header back now, looking for Delo. Flicks it back to Andre Onana. We're going to have to go again. I mean, it's going to take something to try get a result out of this. I mean, this Newcastle team are so rotated, so poor, really. We should be absolutely all over these guys. We really should be. Dubravka's just playing ball out now. Delo, he wins that header. I mean, but it's just going to go straight back to Dubravka again. We looked lost at sea. We really do. There. I mean, I was talking before the match started that I was happy with that midfield, but I'm not seeing anything in there. Nobody seems willing to take the extra touch or play 1 or 2 passes. It's like the midfield are frustrated that they're not receiving the ball quickly enough. And then as a result, as soon as they receive it, they're trying to just launch the ball up the pitch as well. Daniel says it's a disgrace. No two ways about it. I mean, it's been a disgrace for weeks. The only thing is, and I can say this with confidence, it probably doesn't matter. Like, it probably does not matter to these players, or even if we sack Ten Hag, because we will find ourselves in this exact position in 2 to 3 years, in a year or two time. Like, it's such an indeterminate thing. Like, these players will just call it quits again. That's like, what are we doing in these matches? What are we doing? Full stop here. Newcastle breaking now with the ball. Again, just driving forward, completely unmarked. Casemiro wins that, but it's somehow been given as a free kick. Newcastle take it early. Delo, he's got Almiron on the outside of him. Not really doing much to close him down here. Ball goes in, across to Joe Willock. Delo misses out in the tackle, loses out again. Flicked on, it's dropped there, and it's 2-0 to Newcastle. I mean, it's a comedy of errors. This isn't a football club. This is genuinely a fucking comedy club. I really do not know anymore. There was so many opportunities to clear that. People can go on about the coaching, but these players genuinely look like they have never played a match of football in their life. And I just don't know. I mean, look, I'll call it right now. What will happen is Erik Ten Hag will get sacked and these players will rejoice. And what we'll get then is a new manager come in and they'll play for him for 12 months. And then they'll decide, you know what, this guy's not picking me, even though I'm absolute shit. I'm just going to down tool for him. I'm going to make the whole place a negative shithole for everybody. And then we're going to find ourselves back in this position in 12 months' time. I can guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. Daniel says Delo's looking awful. Casemiro and Eriksen too. I mean, they're so far past that as well. Let's see. I mean, it's 10 years. It is 10 years of this. 11 changes for 11 changes for Newcastle. This team is just so poor. I don't know. I think that's it. Like, I really do. I genuinely think that is it for Erik Ten Hag. If we lose this, like, I really do. It's over. Like, these players are absolutely shit. They really are. Anthony has won a corner, I guess. Not that it's going to come to anything. Not that anything is going to actually happen here either. That's the analysis. Like, it's just shit. Like, and I don't care how good a manager you are. You cannot polish shit. You really can't. CR7 says Ten Hag out. I mean, yeah, look, we'll sack Ten Hag and the players will get away with it again, and in 12 months we'll find ourselves in the same position, asking, can Diogo Delo kick on and become a top fullback? And as I said that, he's just got the ball on his left foot and he's almost hit the other corner flag with it. No manager genuinely makes this team contenders. They really don't. Ten Hag should be doing a lot better. Ten Hag should be doing a lot better, but man, these players, and I don't know, like, what is the issue tonight? I mean, we blame Ten Hag for not dropping Martial, or not dropping Rashford or Bruno or any of those players, and he does it, and he plays a very rotated team, players who are sitting saying that they deserve to play every match for this club, and they go out and they put this sharp shit out as well. Like, I don't know. I mean, sacking the manager is just the easy thing to do. But we've just been we have been a yo-yo club for 10 years. Like, we really have been. And we just live on the new manager bounce. That's literally all this club has depended on for the last 10 years is a new manager bounce. Anthony's gone down now, holding his head. No, sorry, it's Hannibal. Apologies. Hannibal gone down, holding his head. I think he went up and over the Newcastle man there, kind of landed and hit his head off the ground. Nasty one. It's a painful one. Chrissy says it's a disgrace. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is. It is. The players are clearly not playing for the manager now. They really cannot. I mean, I don't want to go in on him again, but Delo, absolutely shit. Like, there's nothing else we can say about Diogo Delo. Casemiro plays like Casemiro is playing like a golden retriever. He's just walking and following the ball around. He's meant to be the anchor of this midfield. Daniel says this is an awful team. Third in the trophy last year, wasn't given enough signings and wasn't allowed to clear out the rubbish, and this is what happens. It's not even just that. Look, the tactics are completely wrong. The way we are playing is completely wrong. You have to be doing better. He's signed a lot of his own players he had at Ajax, and he cannot get any kind of style of play into this team. I mean, yeah, look, these players are shit. Like, they genuinely are. Casemiro's literally not trying anymore. Like, Newcastle are just running through us every time. I would take Casemiro off, and I would pray that Saudi Arabia come in with a big money offer for him at some point. That's probably the best thing I can say for Casemiro right now. Genuinely, he is abysmal as well. Victor Lindelof on there. I mean, get that man out of the team as well. Absolutely pathetic. Anthony, one of the worst players I've ever seen play for United. Like, genuinely, if we're talking value for money, people go on about Harry Maguire, but Maguire has shown more in the last couple of weeks than Anthony has the entire time he's been here. A new manager doesn't change it. A new manager does not change this. But we should not be seeing Diogo Delo at halftime. Daniel is down there. Just think though, when he had his full strength defense last year, 17 defense, second strength. I mean, yeah, but it's like the volume of opportunities we faced. Like, the midfield does not even try. I mean, Casemiro. Look, I'm watching Casemiro now. I'm not even watching the ball. Casemiro was just jogging around whilst players are running past him over and over and over again. Delo, I mean, that's Victor Lindelof coming out to try and make a tackle. We have genuinely made a team of players who cannot win the ball either. It's so frustrating as well. We've assembled a team of players who cannot duel, who cannot win a tackle, who cannot get in there and actually make any kind of difference on and off the ball. I mean, his team's broke, and bringing a new manager in will not just fix the problems. And you would have to be either completely biased, or you would have to have no clue whatsoever about football to think that a manager fixes the issues at this team. You really would be, because these players are so poor. They do, like, Daniel's on there. We didn't get Kim and Jai or Timber. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's true. We've somehow spent £1 billion in 10 years, and we could play that Sir Alex Ferguson team now, who would all be in their 40s or pushing 50, maybe some of them over 50, and they would probably beat this current team. We spent £1 billion to be worse than players who probably haven't kicked a ball in 10 years. I mean, you couldn't run a football club any worse, but we have to separate it as well. Like, it's not the Glazer family on that pitch right now, jogging around, not putting the effort in. I mean, Casemiro's doing exactly what Scott McTominay gets lambasted for on a weekly basis, of just hiding in the midfield. And I guarantee it, look, he's going to go to Saudi Arabia. He'll do an interview. He'll say United aren't serious. He'll get all the cheap clicks on social media. And people say, oh, Casemiro wasn't the problem. And that's what we're going to get. Genuinely, like, we did this a long time ago. So we did this in the stream the other night. We went through one by one. There's about 5 players out of that squad I would keep. And until the rest are gone, nothing is ever really going to change at this club. They just do not care. They do not care at all. And I don't know how many managers we've seen drop and lose the dressing room and have these shocking runs of form where the players just literally do nothing on the pitch and just walk about all uninterested. I don't know how many times we've done this and been in this position, but I'm not even going to blame the manager anymore, like, either, because we probably blindly said, do what, whenever Jose got sacked and the good vibes of Ollie came in, go out and enjoy yourself football. We probably said, yeah, do what, that might change things. It didn't. Liman says Ten Hag out at halftime. I mean, yeah. I mean, absolutely. But I can't. I would be lying to you as well if I said a manager comes in and fixes this, because it doesn't. It will literally fix nothing, because this team is still shit, and this team will find itself in this position. Look, I guarantee what will happen. If we sack Ten Hag, we bring someone else in, we'll get a bounce. The players will be like, oh, let's play hard. That manager will fall into the trap of thinking he can trust certain players, and then those players will just lose interest because they're not serious footballers, because they're weak and they don't care, and then that manager will get sacked. And we've done this for 10 years. If sacking the manager was what was going to bring us back to the top, we would have won serious trophies under Louis van Gaal, or we would have won them under Jose, or Ollie, or Ranić, or Ten Hag. So, I mean, man, I can't get behind Gary O'Neill. I just can't get behind that at all. I think this group of players are just pathetic, and they do not deserve to wear that shirt. They really do not deserve it whatsoever. I mean, look, I'll go through this team that we're playing. It's right beside me. Onana, I'll keep. Delo can go. He's absolutely shit, and he hasn't improved in 5 years. He puts 1 or 2 fancy crosses into no man's land in a match, and everybody thinks he's the second coming of Cafu. Lindelof is absolutely trash as well. We think he's good because he's not Harry Maguire, but he's awful. Harry Maguire can go. Reguilon's absolutely nothing special either. He can go, as far as I'm concerned. Midfield, Casemiro can be on the first plane to Rita, or get him off to Jeddah, or wherever in Saudi Arabia want to take him. Al Hilal or Al Nasir, whoever wants him can take him. Mason Mount has not been given an opportunity. Hannibal, I mean, he's young. Forward line, Anthony Martial, I mean, send him back to just send him back to Monaco if that is even in his contract. Find a receipt and go back to Monaco and say, please, we'll take a $5. Garnacho, I'll keep. Anthony can go as well. And that's it. How many keeps have we got out of the entire starting 11? Maybe 2, 3 at best. And you can go through the entire team doing this. Look, here's Delo as well, jogging back whilst... is that Matt Ritchie? He's probably around 34, 35 at this point, just blitzing past him. Delo is just such an unserious player. He really, really, really is. Joelinton playing it out. I mean... I'm just waiting for Newcastle to score again. This is genuinely their B team, and the problem is, and the difference is that Newcastle players actually give a fuck. Like, they actually care. It's abysmal. It is abysmal. I can see a stat here as well. As a team, we've only won 10 ground duels out of 32. 31% win rate. I mean, you're so uncommitted in the tackle and in the ball and in your challenges. Like you're literally winning less than a third. It's just abysmal. You wouldn't know Anthony Martial's on the pitch. You wouldn't know Anthony's on the pitch. Mount is anonymous. The tools are well and truly downed, and I hope Sir Jim Radcliffe is looking at this, and I hope he just clears these players out. Because man, these players just genuinely need sacked. Dalot is just getting blitzed past again. Diogo Dalot is absolutely atrocious. There is nothing in his game. It's halftime, thankfully. I'm going to restart the timer. Looks like we're in for another group therapy session this week as well, guys. Can't lie. Let me just start, reset. There we go. So that is that done at least. 45 minutes gone, 2-0 to Newcastle United. There's only one team out there, United. Ten Hag doesn't look happy, but he looks like a man out of ideas. He looks like a man whose team is down tools for him, and I just don't think he's ever going to get this turned round. I really just don't think these players can be asked to turn it around. I really can't. And look, we'll probably make some changes at half time. Eriksen will come on and play some fancy passes around and keep the ball a little bit, or Rashford will come on and just run into 5 Newcastle players every time he gets it, or Bruno will pick it up and decide, hey, I'm 50 yards out, let's try a first time volley pass on the outside of my foot, maybe it'll just come off. Like that's the kind of shit we're relying on. It is so poor from this Manchester United team. Look, I'm past the anger stage. It's just pathetic. Lucky's down there, halftime issues getting in the box. Lucky the halftime issues as well, man, is that we may as well have not got off the team bus tonight. It's just not a team. It's just not even serious players who want to do anything on that pitch. And it's a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace. We'll do what we always do. We'll just sack the manager and everything will be okay, like it has been, or it's meant to be for the last 10 years. I mean, that's generally what we're going to get from these group of players, and that's generally what we've got for the last 10 years, and it's just never ever going to change. You can sack the manager. Do you know what? Go ahead and do it. It's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen, but these players don't deserve to be here, and I hope whoever comes in after Erik Ten Hag takes a serious hard look at this and a serious look back at the history and the last 10 years at this football club, and just clears these players out and just gets rid of them, all of them, like literally barring 4 or 5 players. I think you can get rid of that entire squad, and that's the hard reset you need, as much as you need the Glazer family gone. These players will just keep on letting anyone down. They don't care if it's Jim Radcliffe, or if it's Sheikh Yassim, or if it's the Glazer family, or they don't care if it's Erik Ten Hag, or Ralph Rangnick, or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or Jose Mourinho, or Louis van Gaal, or if it's David Moyes. They just don't care. France is down there saying it's beyond despicable. I mean, yeah, look, I genuinely despise these players. Like, I really do. William is tired of this club. I mean, yeah, look, I've mentally checked out. Like, I'm so far beyond the angry stage. Like, I'm not even angry about this anymore. It's just pathetic. It's like it's like when you got that old it's like when you got that really old telling off whenever you were younger, and your parents or whoever would say, I'm not angry at you, I'm just disappointed. And that's just how I feel. I just feel disappointed again. And I mean, if I was angry, it would just affect too much of my life. And thankfully, Manchester United I have some other things as well going on. But man, I mean, if you're a Manchester United player tonight, you're sitting saying you've worked your entire life to get to this point. You've worked for years upon years, trained in football for at least 20 years if you're playing for the first team, because you'll have been playing from your 4 or 5, and you're just donning tools every 2 to 3 years for what? For what reason? Franz is saying, how are we playing like this after losing to City? I don't know. It just comes down to it again, Franz. They don't care. Like, any other team would go out after a bad loss and they would put in a good performance and they would work really hard. And these players, these are the guys who have not been playing. These are the people we see going to the media and saying Erik Ten Hag is big favourites and he only picks certain players and he doesn't treat us fairly. And you know what? He gives them an opportunity against a Newcastle team that they absolutely should be beating because they've made 11 subs, 11 changes from the weekend, and they can't be bothered to turn up. They just go out onto the pitch, they don't make a tackle, they're lazy, they're pathetic, and they do not deserve to be at this football club. They absolutely do not deserve to be here whatsoever. They really, really don't. William says there's no game plan, no solid mentality. They're just playing for nothing. All they're doing is playing for the money. And that's all we've got. Sniper Patch is saying we're in a sad state. Playing out the whole lot of them. Their disgrace sacking Ten Hag is not the answer. Chrissy says we are absolutely crappable. No passion, no hunger. Yeah, look, and I will go back to what Sniper Pat said as well. We will probably sack Erik Ten Hag, and on the results, he probably deserves to be sacked. That is the risk you get when you go into these top jobs. You have to be giving results, and you have to be winning matches, and we're not doing that. We're losing far too much, and the season is practically over on the 1st of November. So Erik Ten Hag probably will be sacked, because these players don't care enough to turn things around. They really don't. But what I can say is that this will not change under any manager. If it's De Zerbi, if it's Nagelsmann, if it's Hansi Flick, if it's Xabi Alonso, if it's Pep Guardiola, if it's Jurgen Klopp, if Sir Alex Ferguson comes out of retirement, it probably doesn't change because they do not care. And that's the top and bottom of it. You know, as soon as things start going wrong, every head on that pitch drops and they don't want to be there. They don't want to stand up and be counted for. They don't want to stand up and have some passion and care for the club they're playing for the fans who are paying all that money to watch them, to the history and the culture of the football club. They don't care. They couldn't care less about the tragic passing of Sir Bobby Charlton at the weekend. They went out and just walked around the pitch and were absolutely pathetic against Man City. They had an opportunity tonight to respond really quickly on the bounce, and they turned out that first half performance, and they are absolutely abysmal. And you know what, I have a comment coming in here from Christy. I would absolutely agree with that as well. Sack most of the players. I want to go through this because I did it the other night. Everybody seemed to like it and everybody seemed to agree with it, so I'm going to go through it again. This is Manchester United's team. This is who I would keep. Andre Onana can stay. Altay Bayandere can stay. Tom Heaton I don't really care about. Victor Lindelof can go back to Sweden. Harry Maguire can go anywhere else, in my opinion. Tyrell Malacia is not good enough. Sergio Reguilon can go back to Spurs. Rafa Varane, if he can stay fit, can stay, but we can't rely on him to be number one. Martinez I'm going to keep. Diogo Dalot has not improved in 5 years of being at this football club. Luke Shaw has been injured this season, so I'm not going to judge him too harshly. Wan-Bissaka, again, been injured most of the year. Johnny Evans is past his best and will probably retire. Midfield, let's see. Amrabat I'll keep as a squad option. Mount I'll keep because we haven't given him an opportunity. Bruno has massive question marks. Maybe he should be thrown out of the football club. Eriksen as a squad player, yes. Ahmad, yes. Casemiro can go on the first plane to Saudi Arabia. He can go link up with Benzema, or he can link up with Ronaldo, wherever he wants to go. He does not deserve or belong on wearing the shirt of Manchester United at Old Trafford. Donny van de Beek, I forgot he even existed. Kobbie Mainoo is a player I would be giving as much minutes as possible between now and the end of the season. Scott McTominay never has, never will be, or never can be good enough for Manchester United. Hannibal, I mean, there's questions about him. Anthony Martial is absolutely pathetic. If there is a receipt for Monaco, try get him back. The guy just does not care. Get him gone. I could not care less about Anthony Martial. Marcus Rashford can go. I'm not bothered at all about that. Anthony and Sancho are two of the biggest wastes of space I've ever seen signed at Manchester United. And we signed them for what, about 150 million more, maybe, combined. They can go as well. Absolute pathetic. And we would not miss them whatsoever. Francis down there. Does Harry Maguire have to head that back to the centre for the second Newcastle goal? He does. Look, it was never actually a free kick in the first place. Casemiro had no interest in going back. He was just walking back. Dalot, no interest in making a tackle either. Diogo Dalot is genuinely appalling. And people say he's meant to be really good going forward. He's not. He's not. And defensively, he is such a liability. It's every match this guy is giving goals away. He has not improved since he was signed for Manchester United. And it's no surprise that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted to get rid of him. People called Ole an idiot for looking to get rid of Dalot and bring Kieran Trippier in. I mean, again, Solskjaer was proved right. So, I don't know. Like, I seriously don't know where we go next. I mean, look, we'll sack Erik Ten Hag, and the players will be happy, and they'll work hard for a little while under a new manager. I just hope that Sir Jim Ratcliffe or whoever in charge of Ineos is looking at this and will say, Joe, what? We've had 10 years of you guys quitting under every single manager. It's not going to happen anymore. You're gone. Get out of here. And that's what we need to see. Hard reset. The hardest reset possible. Rip up that team, throw them all out. I would love to keep Erik Ten Hag and sack the entire team, because that's probably what those players deserve, because since day one this season, they've gone out of their way to get the man sacked. And it's so frustrating to watch. I really don't care. I think it's ironic, because this group of players were seen as so likable under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for so long. Such an exciting team that scored goals and worked hard. There was speed, there was energy, there was cutting edge. Now they're some of the most deplorable players we've ever had that we just don't want to look at again wearing Manchester United kits. And they'll probably come out and blame Erik Ten Hag for this, and they'll blame whoever the next manager is after this. But until those players are gone, this club is going nowhere. And that's the simple truth of it. Like, until they are gone, we are going nowhere as a football club. And it doesn't matter who the manager is. It really doesn't. I could manage the club. And it would make no difference, because these players will just call it quits. They will, because it's all they've done for 10 years, and it's all they will do for the next 10 years if given the opportunity. They're absolutely pathetic. They really are. I mean, we desperately need it to change, but is it going to change? I doubt it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka coming on for Diogo Dalot. I hope that's the last time we ever see Dalot in a Manchester United shirt. I could really do without him on the pitch for us anymore. He is pathetically bad. He is absolutely disgraceful. France is down there. They can lie all they want. Ten Hag is in big trouble now. We just lost to City, and tonight is so poor. His head is on the chopping board, and players are getting him sacked. It's sad. Fulham cannot wait to play these overpaid, overrated, no passion tossers. Absolutely no, they can't. I completely agree with both of you guys. It's sad that another manager who looked like they were going to do good things at United is going to get sacked, because these players cannot be asked to work and actually do what they're paid to do. Thankfully, Wan-Bissaka seems to be coming on. I mean, no Dalot has to be a good thing. Can only be a good thing. I would sack the team, like I seriously would. I would make them walk home. Just drive the bus off and make them walk home. I don't care. Like, I really don't. This group of players for I don't know. Under Ole did on the exact same thing. Under Mourinho they did the exact same thing. Under Van Gaal the exact same thing. Under Moyes the exact same thing. Like, it's just so hard to actually get behind these players, because you know what they're gonna do. and you know they're every bit as capable of doing it to the next manager, and they will if they can, and that is what they will do. And they will go to the media, and the media will write all the Ten Hag out stories they want. Ten Hag doesn't know what he's doing. Ten Hag doesn't have a clue. Ten Hag has no idea. He's the worst manager ever, and that's because the media don't want to lose the players as their contacts, because they know that the players will be there longer than any other manager, and that's why they'll write the anti-Ten Hag stuff. Ten Hag needs to do better. I think time's running out. If he gets sacked, I can't say I'm surprised at all. But these players, I'm just at a loss. Like, we've had every approach conceivable with this group of players. Mourinho was a stone cold winner. A stone cold winner who wants to win beyond all else, and they couldn't handle Mourinho. And from there we went, because the players said that they were being treated so harshly and so unfairly, constantly, by Mourinho, that we went and got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Ole's plan to managing was a lot different. It was, do you know what, we're not going to be hard at you. We're not going to go and be nasty to you. We're gonna work together, and we're gonna have really good, strong vibes, and it's gonna be a good connection. It's gonna be a happy camp. And they turned on him because they saw that friendliness as weakness, and they thought they could get away with being lazy. And it was just Ollie. He wasn't going to do anything. And then we went and bring Ralph Rangnick in, a guy who is known for building teams back up, building teams for the long term, and we sack him after 6 months. And then we go and get Erik Ten Hag, an up-and-coming coach from Ajax, playing some of the best football in Europe, who has a clear tactical plan, knows what he wants to do, and this is what we get. So, yeah, Ten Hag does need to do better, but these players, they've ran out of chances, well and truly, and I will echo this sentiment on the channel. And what people might call it negative, moving forward, but this team will never succeed with these players. So some changes for United. Sofyan Amrabat has also come on for Casemiro. Cannot say I'm surprised. Casemiro probably should never be seen in a Manchester United shirt again. Absolutely just could not care less. We thought he was here for a paycheck last year. He put 12 months of effort in, and now he's just sitting back on that, and he's going to be a hard guy to move on. Hopefully Saudi Arabia wants him. Hopefully he can go there. Ronnie says Mason Mount and that so-called Joker anti-Martial. Look at the subs. It's a joke. I mean, Martial's a joke is right, man. Absolutely. Mount has got on the ball there. Finds Amrabat. I mean, Amrabat has to have been fouled there. This is going to be a long 45. It's going to be a long 45. I don't even think if we score 3 goals and win this match that it changes anything, because we could have the biggest win, the biggest comeback, and we did against Brentford, and they just didn't care. They could not care less. They said, "Oh, we won, very good. Okay, do what? Internationals. I'm going off to England. I love playing for England's." Or I'm going off to play for my national team. That's all I care about. Or they're going, do you know what? I'm going to go on holiday for 10 days in New York. That's what I'm going to do. They just don't care, man. They really don't care at all. And it's just so frustrating. I don't know how Hannibal's still on the pitch, to be fair there. I think you're right, whoever said that. I think it's Franz. You're correct with that statement. I think he should have went as well. We've got Mount screaming for the ball. No one really looking up, but that would have required Anthony having a right foot to find him, and that's gone back to Harry Maguire. Lindelof with it, the Iceman who melts inside of a fridge. Again, another player I'm just so done with at this point, and who needs moving on. We've got Garnacho, looks for Amrabat to Mount. Nothing really going on in there. Martial called for it, and it kind of just bounced off his stomach, and now it's gone back to Harry Maguire. I mean, I really don't know what the answer is at this point. We've tried every approach possible with these group of players, and the only option that we have is to get rid of these players, to sack them, to sell him, do whatever. Because Anthony Martial and Victor Lindelof have their contracts running out in the summer. If we genuinely think of extending them for 1 minute, we are the biggest fools of a football club. We already are, so that's probably why we'll do it. Corner going in here. Again, it's to nobody. Ball's going to come back out to Mount. Mount with the ball in, away by Joe Linton. And Anthony going to go back here. Probably going to give a foul away as well. If he had a right foot, he could have just played it to Wan-Bissaka. But it does look like a free kick's been given in his favour. Look, Sofyan Amrabat, in 2 minutes of being on this pitch, has done more work as a number 6 than what Casemiro has done in the entire match. He's dropping into the right areas. He's picking the ball up. He's went for a big switch there, which has gone out of play. But, I mean, number 6, that position is about positioning. It's about reading the game. I mean, they're more interested, Casemiro, in looking for a highlight reel goal. It's a joke, man. It is an absolute joke. And no doubt there'll be people on there saying, look at what Casemiro won in other clubs, but I really could not care at all about that. I really couldn't. Paolo Maldini won a lot at another club. Doesn't mean he should be playing left back or centre back for us. When you're done, you're done, and Casemiro was done. So time to go. Got a free kick on the edge of the box here. We've got Mount and Anthony over it. It's either Mount on the right foot or Anthony on the left foot. Either way, it's got to get cleared away by the first man, because that's what's going to happen. And that's what's happened all season long. So I'd be very surprised if anything comes of this. Personally, Mount with the delivery, looking for Maguire at the back stick, and it's just going to run out for a throw-in unless Garnacho has kept it in. But Garnacho's gone off the pitch there. I think we just about kept it in. Reguilon crossing. I mean, Martial didn't even look interested in that. It's dropped to Anthony. And by the time Anthony cuts it back onto the left foot, he has he's lost the ball. Now, Wan-Bissaka kind of pulled up really weirdly there. I really hope he hasn't just pulled his hamstring minutes after going on. I feel like that's probably a frustration thing. He looks to be moving okay. And we're moving the ball forward again now. Reguilon finds Mount to Amrabat. Again, it's just not happening for this team. They just look so unbothered whatsoever. I think genuinely any player who's been here longer than 2 or 3 years should be just cleared out the door at this point, because there's just too much of a track record of them feeling manager after manager and just not caring. Hannibal cannot make a tackle unless he's going to get sent off, so that's why Joe Linton's just walked right through him. Lindelof's going to try to lay it back to Onana. Onana trying to burst the team up, but is there going to be any urgency? I would be more surprised if there was at this point than if there wasn't, because I'm just expecting it at this point. Garnacho looking up, not really got anything going on. Mount with it, finds Reguilon. Martial to Garnacho. I mean, it's just not really happening at the minute. We're having more of the ball in the first 5-6 minutes of this half, but I just feel like Newcastle are too up here, and they're just going to sit back and hit us on the counter attack. I feel like they'll be more than happy to do that, and we'll probably give them the opportunities to do so. Garnacho's just run the ball out of play. There he is offside as well, so Newcastle will get that ball back pretty easily there. Again, just poor. Just really poor. I mean, Anthony's a joke, man, as well. He really is. Anthony is just abysmal. I mean, really not too much happening here so far from Manchester United, but the way that first half was going, going 6 minutes without conceding or looking like you've never kicked a ball before in your life is probably a good thing. Lindelof trying to play forward, looking for Onana. I mean, that sentence in itself is telling you the issues here. Victor Lindelof is playing the ball forward to Onana. Amrabat looking up, finds that forward pass into Anthony, and Anthony's just going to ship it out towards Garnacho. He's took it down. He's got Mount on the overlap. Decent ball in there from Mount. We had a swing at it. It's fallen to Wan-Bissaka. Gonna fall to Amrabat. Chatsport's feeling it as well. You're feeling the same way as me, man. Honestly, I was annoyed for maybe 5 minutes at the end of the half and going into half time, but I mean, it's just to be expected. Anthony, I don't know what that guy is doing. He's just swung a leg at it and had a lie down in their penalty box. I mean, Anthony might be one of the worst players and worst value for money signings of all time. The guy is abysmal. Chatsport says, "Evening, everyone. Who's going to be United's next manager?" I don't know who the next manager is. I really don't know. I think until this football club changes at a bigger and more deeper or more impactful level than the manager, we're just going to be stuck in this position again and again. It'll just happen over and over again. I mean, this place is just broken. We often talk about a team being broken, but this entire club is broken, and I hate to break it to the 15 guys in the chat here as well. If you haven't already accepted it, Sheikh Yassim is not buying Manchester United. It's going to be Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and the only thing that we as a Manchester United fan, as we as a club or as supporters, the only thing that is going to bring this club back, or could bring this club back with what we have at the minute, is genuinely going to be Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos coming in and ripping the place up and just changing everything. And if it takes 2 or 3 years for this club to genuinely be back and genuinely have a team, then that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to be about. And we just got to stick with something. And I think we just got to get these players out as well. Anthony's just got inside and just put the ball into Rosette. Chatsport says, could we say United could just go without a manager, just pick a team out of a hat on match day? Do you know what, man? If we were picking a team out of the hat on the match day, within 3 months, half the players would think the hat was being biased and would be hats out. They would be donning tools for the hat. That's genuinely the level we get with this lot. And it's so frustrating. The first team plays shit, and the second team sit in the sideline and said, "You know what? I deserve to be playing. I need to be playing. Rashford's not playing well. Bruno's not playing well. Amrabat not playing well. Varane not playing well. I deserve to be playing." And you know what? They get an opportunity and they just go out and deliver this shit. So why bother? It's not. I hope this acts as a wake-up call. I hope this acts as a sobering reminder to each and every fan out there who calls for all these constant rotations and calls for all these constant changes. You're basically just swapping. You're just swapping dog shit for bullshit. If you're making these changes, like you are still getting shit. So that is it. Garnacho looks to have picked up an injury, so Rashford is probably going to come on here at some point. I mean, Garnacho struggled, hasn't really got going in tonight's match. It was a good tackle from Livermento, but look, I mean, this is just genuinely this is just a typical case. One team wants to be there and wants to play at Old Trafford, and it is not Manchester United. We look like we would rather be sitting at home playing PS5 and running to Samuel Luckhurst complaining that the socks are too tight or that the kits don't fit right. Like this group of players are so pathetic And I'm done with this group of players. I'm so done. And I really thought that, probably deludedly, that last season we were building something special, or we were building towards something. Like we had the beginnings of the right steps. But I mean, they've probably fooled us all. They've probably just pulled the wool over our eyes again. I don't think I'm ever going to trust these group of players again. I seriously don't. I really don't. And look, if we went on a winning streak under a new manager and we started winning matches left, right, and centre and won an FA Cup, a lot of people would get bought up into it, but I would not be buying it again. Like, I'm genuinely at that point now where it's like these group of players will never earn back my trust. So I will never be disappointed by this group of players again, because I will always expect the worst when it comes to them. So I just feel like, yeah, that's literally the only approach we can take until this club is genuinely cleaned out. Not with a bit of Mr. Sheen, not with a couple of wet wipes, but until this club is put under a power washer and cleaned out completely, decontaminated of this shit. Nothing's ever really going to change. Nothing is ever going to change. At Manchester United, and I think it's a sobering reminder. I think it's not optimistic. I mean, I'm always someone who's optimistic about the long-term future of this club, but I'm just so far done with this team. Newcastle punting the ball forward. It's dropped to Harry Maguire. Newcastle again. Amrabat trying to go in there, loses out in the tackle. Newcastle breaking. It's Joe Willock driving forward. Willock shoots, and it's 3-0. United players on the ground. I don't know why they're bothering. I don't know why they're pretending that they care. It was a good goal. It was a good finish. I mean, this is it. This is it. Erik Ten Hag, pack your bags. You're gone. It was nice to have you. Thanks very much for the League Cup last year. Thanks for finishing us in top 4. Thanks for what you did for us last season. But it's time to go, and it's time to go. And that's just what's going to happen. He's going to get the sack, and the players are just going to get away with it again. As always. I mean, that's a brilliant finish, to be fair to Joe Willock. He just drove right at us, completely unopposed, right into the bottom corner. Not even too much Onana could do there. I can't blame the guy on that one. But I mean, are we actually surprised? Like, do we genuinely feel surprised whatsoever in this one? Do we feel like Do we feel like this is disappointing? Like, where does this come from? Or is this just the same shower of shit that we've been getting? And like, you're going to see a lot of strange things across social media in the coming days, in the coming weeks. You're going to see people saying Ralph Rangnick was a genius. You're going to get people saying we should never have sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Or you'll have the Mourinho crowd coming out of their closets. Or you'll have the Ronaldo FC coming crawling out from underneath the beds. Whatever. That's what we're going to get in the coming days and weeks, and they'll go, haha, I was proved right. Ten Hag was never the guy. Truth is, nobody is going to be the guy for this lot. Like, they really are not. Anthony's got the ball now. He has to take 5 touches before he can do anything with it. It's dropped to Mount with a shot. Yeah, Jasport says manager bounce FC. I mean, I've said this before, man. We as a club have relied on manager bounce. We talk about manager bounce being for teams at the bottom of the league. We talk about it being for the relegation threatened teams. We bring a new manager in and they get some smiles on the faces, and all of a sudden they win 4 or 5 matches on the bounce. But Manchester United have been living manager bounce to manager bounce for years upon years. And there is absolutely no surprise that the best seasons under Louis van Gaal, the best seasons under Jose Mourinho, best seasons under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the best seasons under Erik Ten Hag came in their first season because the players hadn't called it quits yet. And that's just where we find ourselves. We're bringing Højlund on and we're bringing Bruno Fernandes on. It's not going to accomplish anything. We just know it's not. Rashford coming on as well. Genuinely, stay off social media, guys. Like, that's the best news or the best advice I can give to us at this moment in time. It's an embarrassment, but we'll just do what we do. We'll sack the manager and we'll just pretend it was all Erik Ten Hag's fault all along. Back-to-back 3-0 in your own stadium. It's that is sackable for him, and I would be completely Erik Ten Hag out. And I would be absolutely Erik Ten Hag out if this was the first time that this has ever happened to us. But I think if we look beyond this season and we look at what we have seen from Manchester United, time and time again this has happened, and this is nothing new. This is the exact same cycle that we find ourselves in continually. So I mean, until genuine massive change happens with the playing personnel at this club, I mean, nothing is ever going to change. And I feel like I've been saying this here for what? I've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. I feel like I've been saying it for an hour and 40 minutes, but it doesn't make it any less true. It's just abysmal, man. It is just so poor. And I'm not even disappointed anywhere. Like, I'm not. Like, it's the stages of grief, isn't it? That's what it is. It is the stages of grief. Jasper says McLaren will be caretaker manager until next season. I know what's going to happen. I don't know. Sniper says club said of Jose, player power destroyed the club. Yeah, player power did destroy the club. That's genuinely what it is. Like, Ten Hag's gonna have to get sacked for this. You cannot be having back-to-back 3-0 in your own stadium. You just cannot survive that. And he will get sacked for it, and probably rightly so. But nothing will ever change until these players are gone. It's genuinely not. It's like it's like Formula One. If your car is just shit and the wheels are falling off it and you're not winning races, I mean, you can sack them. You can sack the driver for not winning races or finishing high up the podium. Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but until the car is fixed, until it's actually fixed, you're never getting anywhere. And until you actually have the owners and the guys at the top wanting to make those changes to make this team actually work, nothing is ever going to change. So it's just a vicious cycle of players turning on managers, managers getting sacked, the owners not wanting to really change too much, and that's kind of where we find ourselves. I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, was told by the owners and by the Glazers that he can only have 3 signings a summer, like, and that was it. Like, you're never going to be a serious football club at that rate. You will never be serious at that going rate. So, it's the stages of grief. We've gone from sadness to anger to disappointment, and now we're at apathy. We have moved on. I think this season's done. I think this season is well and truly over. And again, these players, I just hope they're happy with themselves, because it's again another manager who is gonna get sacked. It is just another manager going to get sacked, and managers just do not survive. After Manchester United, what did Mourinho do? He went and ended up at Spurs, where he got sacked, and then Roma, where he's probably going to get sacked again. Van Gaal just got his walk-in job at Van Gaal got the walk-in job at the Netherlands. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is writing articles for The Athletic. I mean, Ten Hag will probably struggle now, really, to get another job. He might go back to Ajax. Ajax need a manager. Maybe that's where he goes. I wish him well wherever he goes, because I do genuinely like the guy, and I thought he could have been the man if, with the right backing and the right players, could have done something. But it's just it's just not going to happen. And it's just where we find ourselves once again. Victor Lindelof has just attempted to find Mason Mount, and he's done that by putting his laces through the ball. And it's just rolling hopelessly out. I haven't even watched most of this second half, truth be told. Guys, get those thoughts in down below. Drop a like in the video if you can. Ronnie says time for a new manager. I mean, yeah, it's time for a new manager. It's time for a new it's time for a new team. It's time for a new group of players. It seriously is. Time to make some genuine changes. I don't know. James is down there. The players are to blame. Absolutely. Look, the players are to blame. I will agree 100% with that. The Ten Hag, he made the changes that the public have been crying for weeks, and they don't care. The truth is, the players have well and truly down tools. They do not care. Ronnie says, ex-Tottenham manager, time to play for the badge. I don't even know what managers are available. Like, people say, let's go get the Zerbi, but Brighton catch hands at least once a month. And that's the truth of that as well. I mean, Nagelsmann's just took the German job. He's not available. I don't know where they go next. I don't know what they'll do. It's going to be a difficult time. James is saying, how many times are we going to say keep sacking the managers? I mean, yeah, look, I completely agree, James. I've been saying for weeks upon weeks this season that the players will get the manager sacked, and that's exactly what's happening now. And what will come after this is another manager will come in and will get a bounce, and the players will work hard and they'll look good, and that manager will grow to get a little bit of trust in some of them, and then what will happen? Oh, they'll just down tools. Some of them will say, I'm not playing, even though I've been playing absolute shit. Some of them will just go, Joe, what? I don't even have to work hard to keep my place. And some of them will just genuinely not care. And they'll down tool to that manager and they'll get sacked. And the truth is, until these players are fully gone from this club, until we actually have a genuine clear out and take 20 players out of that squad, because that's what I've counted, I don't think we're going to get back to any kind of a serious club. There's some hard times ahead for Manchester United, but it has to be done. I'm sorry, but it has to be done. No more patch-up jobs. No more superficial fixes. We need to rip the heart out of this team. We need to gut that squad for everything it's worth. Get them out and build a new squad. Build a squad for the future. And that's what you have to do. No more quick fixes. No more looking around at bargain basement players or players past their best. Just get rid of 95% of that team. Genuinely, that's what we've got to do. Sniper Pat said, what world-class manager would want to come in and ruin the rest of his career? Absolutely. Why would they want to come in and work with this group of players? I have no idea. I really don't. I did it at halftime. I'll do it again. Jim says Martial needs to go first. Absolutely. I mean, just let his contract run out. Let him go for nothing. I really don't care. Let Victor Lindelof go. Get Casemiro on the first plane to Saudi Arabia. Get Anthony back. Hopefully you kept a receipt for Anthony. Get him gone. I mean, look, I'll go through it again because I think I've gone through it once or twice already. But first team, this is the players I would actually bother keeping and who I'm letting go. Tom Heaton can go. I don't really care. Victor Lindelof can go back to wherever he wants to go. He can go to Benfica again or go anywhere. He is absolutely atrocious. Melts under pressure. I'm so done with Victor Lindelof. Harry Maguire can go as well, as far as I'm concerned. Lissandro Martinez, I will keep. Malacia can go. Never going to be good enough. Reguilon, I really don't care about. Varane can stay as long as he's going to be second choice, because we can't rely on the guy. He's made of glass. Diogo Dalot is absolutely appalling. Hasn't improved in 5 long years at Manchester United. He can go as well. Luke Shaw, I mean, to be fair, Luke Shaw's probably picked the best time to be injured. Wan-Bissaka, I'll probably keep. Johnny Evans going to retire, I assume. Amrabat, I mean, yeah, look, as a squad option, I'll keep. Mount hasn't been given an opportunity. Bruno Fernandes, do we even want to keep this guy? Like, there's massive questions over that. Eriksen, I mean, I like Eriksen as a squad player, maybe. But But look, I mean, I'm getting rid of Casemiro. I'm getting rid of Donny van de Beek, who I forgot existed earlier. Scott McTominay, never going to be good enough, never will be good enough. Martial, get him gone. Marcus Rashford, get him gone. Sancho and Antony are the two biggest wastes of space I've ever seen at Manchester United Football Club, and they need to go as well. And genuinely, until this team is just torn apart and thrown out, and we bring somebody else in, that's just forever going to happen. Jasper said, what manager wouldn't want to come to United? 3-year contract, get sacked in the second season, big payoff. I mean, yeah, look, if you're that way inclined, Ten Hag will get sacked, and I think he gets £15 million. So there you go. I mean, Antony just played Bruno in there. Bruno had a clear chance, and he just stuck it so far wide. I mean, I don't even know these players anymore, man. I really don't. That was probably the best thing we've done all match. And Bruno's just absolutely scuffed that. I'm telling you now, like, just genuinely, if it takes us, 2, 3, 4 years to be back and rebuild a team in a long-term sustainable way with a bunch of players who are not complete and utter dickheads, that's what we got to do. We cannot get, you will never get it out of these players, and as the sooner this club realize that, the better. You will never ever get it out of this group of players. No manager will come in and make these players title contenders. No manager will make these players a team that's actually going to work for more than 12 months. No manager will do it. It's clear. It's obvious. You've got to take the hurt. It's going to hurt. It is going to absolutely sting. Erik Ten Hag could get sacked at any time. Does it matter? No, because these players are still going to be here. So that's what you got to do. That is literally what you have to do. You have to gut that team out. And if it takes you 3 years to assemble a squad that can last for more than one season actually competing and actually being a serious team, then that's what you do. These quick fixes are they just don't work. They never have worked. They never will work at this team because there's no continuity. There's no ideas. There's no passion. There's no care. These players could not care less about Manchester United Football Club. So why should Manchester United care about them? Get them out of the door. I don't care anymore. Like, seriously, if it takes us 3 years to build a team that can finish anywhere near the top end of the table, then just do it. It's a full reset. Chatsport says fan won't give them time. I think fans have got to understand. I do, and ultimately it won't be the fans making the call. It'll be Ineos at that time. And Ineos will do what they have to do. I mean, it was almost 4-0 there. Sean Longstaff with the drive. Fans, I mean, I don't care. I think if fans cannot see that this club needs a long-term plan and to not be trying to do rebuilds with two 31-year-old midfielders, a bunch of mercenaries and players who have quit at every turn, every bump in the road for the last 10 years, then they're genuinely clueless, because it's just what's going to have to happen. I think most fans with a brain would agree that that is what has to happen. Like, people do need to use their heads with this, and they need to say, enough is enough. It's gotta stop. There has to be a point where this does not happen to this club anymore. There has to be a point where this will not continue to go on as well. Drop a like in the video as well, guys. I think we're up to 23 likes as well. Can we get one more sub as well tonight to take us to 2050? Would be massively appreciated if we can. And yeah, look, we got probably 15 minutes left on the clock. About 4 or 5 minutes of added time. I don't know. Newcastle free kick into the box here as well. Ball's dropping, going back in. Onana should. I don't know why Onana's not claiming that. Very, very dodgy goalkeeping there. And is that Bruno Fernandes just backed out of a tackle there? I mean, I can't even say I'm surprised. Rasmus Højlund doing more running than I've seen any United player do all half. I mean, I feel so bad for this guy. There's so much talent. He genuinely works hard, and he's just in there with the biggest bunch of the most pathetic group of players he could be around as well. I really don't know what we're doing defensively there. I don't know why Onana's not claiming. I don't know why Lindelof isn't trying to knock that ball out of. I really don't know anymore, guys. I seriously don't like. I just think these players are thinking about being home. And that's clearly all they're caring about. I think that's gonna be a free kick against Amrabat. They're just picking it up as well. I really don't know. Borna's down there. Fernandez is jet. I mean, yeah, like it is just pathetic. But I will say this, and I will absolutely say this to you guys. I will absolutely say this. I'm just not surprised. Is there anything new we have learnt tonight that we didn't already know about these players? Is any of this disappointment new? I don't think it is. I mean, Ten Hag's gonna get the sack for it. Passport says United have done Ajax ball, Jose ball, Oli ball, Van Gaal ball. I mean, we've tried everything. We really do. I mean, look. I mean, I'm looking forward to the. Like, I'm genuinely just. I think everybody's looking forward to this match being over at this point. Chat Sports, you're right as well, there, man. This club is just absolutely gone at this point. It's done. It's it. We're so far gone. We're just shit. Like, there is no other way to describe it. Wan-Bissaka is carrying it forward now to Anthony. Old Trafford is half empty. I mean, Ten Hag's going to get the boot for this. Probably deserves it, all things considered, because ultimately the results stop and end with him. But I can tell you now, nothing's going to change. In 18 months, the manager who comes in next will get sacked. And that's it. I mean, look, I'm sure we all naively thought when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked, it was the right thing to do. I think when we all thought when Ralf Rangnick left the club, a lot of people couldn't care less. I think everybody probably unanimously agreed that it was time for Jose Mourinho to go. I think a lot of people said, yeah, it was time for Louis van Gaal to go. And I think a lot of people are saying right now it's right for Erik Ten Hag to go. He has to go. He has to be sacked. And do you know what? They're right. But do you know what? Will anything change? Because you are completely naive if you think anything is going to change following this. Because nothing will change. Absolutely nothing will change with this group of players. Free kick for United here. I mean, I'll be surprised if we even bother to kick it in. If we even bother to take it. Bruno Fernandes to take it. Bruno Fernandes has not had a single set piece in 2 years go past the first man. And he's not going to break that duck today. Don't worry. Just straight into the first player. I mean, I just feel so apathetic towards it. I don't even feel annoyed. I don't feel angry about it because it's just expected, and I look forward to 18 months feeling this exact same way about this team with this group of players until something changes. I mean, here we go. Bruno just with the pot shots from 40 yards out, hitting the first man because I mean, what are we doing? Worst start of the season since 1962. I don't know. I seriously don't know. Regulon's gone off as well. I don't know. I seriously don't know what's going to happen now with Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag looks angry, but I mean, I think he's going to resign himself to the fact that it's over as well, and it's done. Yeah, I mean, what else can we do? We've got what, 10 minutes left. I mean, like, is anybody even still watching the match anymore? I feel like we're just genuinely. I just feel so apathetic towards this club. I mean, Anthony running with the ball now. I mean, he has to stop and cut back because he cannot use that right foot. And yeah, look, we're just playing the ball about here, not doing anything whatsoever. Rashford's just throwing his hands up and kicking the ball backwards. I mean, the players are done as well. They clearly just do not care whatsoever. Anthony's going to put the ball towards Højlund. Maguire's trying to win it. Regulon, Amrabat. I mean, there's no urgency here. There's nothing. Anthony's got the ball now, but he has to stop to cut it back and slow the play down because he can't be using that right foot. You know, it's almost like that movie where it's like if the bus goes under a certain speed, it explodes. If Anthony uses his right foot for anything, he will explode as well. That's kind of the level of shitness we're getting with Anthony as well at the minute. I mean, Marcus Rashford's on there, looks so uninterested as well. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, this club is never gonna go anywhere anytime soon, and that's a hard message to take. Chatsport is saying he's here for the channel. Big ups, man. I'm here for the content as well, and because otherwise I'd probably just be sitting pissed off in my room anyway, watching this absolute draw. Wan-Bissaka's done quite well to win it there. I actually think Wan-Bissaka's done well, to be fair, since he's come on. Rashford has got the ball down in the box. Rashford with a shot. I mean, it took about 10 deflections. It's just not our night either. Bruno's just jumping into tackles now, and Newcastle going to play away and counter as well. But Wan-Bissaka should be fast enough to stop Almiron. Would be surprised if Wan-Bissaka gets done for speed here anyway. But it's hard to see a way back. It is hard to see a way back here, and I think this is. If this isn't the end, then probably the weekend or the next international break, whenever Radcliffe comes in, will be the end of the Erik Ten Hag era. And then we'll go on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. But until this club's genuinely gutted and changed from the top to the bottom, a hard reset button is hit, and these group of players are sent on their way, never to be seen again, wearing Manchester United colours, then we're always going to find ourselves back in this position. I don't think there's a manager in football right now that will keep this team playing good football consistently across more than one season, because it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And you know what? I'm not even going to get my hopes up. I had my hopes up when Erik Ten Hag came in because I thought he was the right man, and I still think that if Erik Ten Hag, if Erik Ten Hag came in after the inevitable gutting of this team, then he probably would do a really good job. He's maybe a case of right man, wrong time, but I mean, it's just going to be the end of that. It's probably going to be the end of his career in top flight management. He might find himself back in the Dutch league, but everything is so brutal to watch in this team. It's just so difficult to watch as well. Newcastle with a free kick from Trippier, ball goes in, and Nana should get that as well. I'm sure that we're gonna see some interesting stuff coming in here as well. Amrabat coming with the ball, and look, I mean, we're gonna get the Erik Ten Hag stuff. I might do a video tomorrow on that as well. Chatsport said I keep Ten Hag, see how the season goes. I mean, it's only gonna go one way as well. I think genuinely, just like, dock their wages, dock their wages 50%. Like, just play the kids, like, because this is just pathetic. Anthony crossing into the box when no one's there. I mean, Anthony might be one of the worst players I've seen in a very, very, very long time at Manchester United. Anthony and Sancho, just get rid of them both, man. I don't know how you spend 150 million pounds plus on two right wingers and ends up with two players doing less for us than what Dan James did. That's genuinely the level of this team. Nobody looks bothered out there either. They'll probably just trudge around the last couple of minutes. Do we clap off the tunnel, get booed, go into their cars, and just not care? Erik Ten Hag. I mean, look, if I was Ten Hag, I would just quit. Like, I would just. He won't quit, because if he does quit, he won't get that payoff. But it's coming, and they'll just sack him, and the players will bounce back. Anthony says, Daniel says Anthony's a new Bebe. I mean, he's just abysmal, man. And Anthony's one of these players. He's like a one-trick pony, and his trick doesn't work. Anthony literally does nothing. Bruno's trying to force his way through here. Just runs into trouble. Bourne says, I don't know what these sponsors see in United when they keep investing in the Glazers. The club has been bad for a decade. Ultimately, it only matters about the money, and the money was up 11% this year. And that's what the sponsors will see as well. They won't care about losing back-to-back 3-0 matches at Old Trafford. They just will not care whatsoever. We're coming into it now. It's the 89th minute. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to enjoying the rest of their night. I mean, we cannot let this team annoy us too much at this point, because that would suggest that this is anything new. So yeah, look, we'll sack Ten Hag, we'll bring someone else in, and it'll be the usual bounce because the players suddenly want to play for a new manager, and then they'll turn on him in 18 months. Jasper says United have been fascinated with wingers for years. I mean, yeah, man, we just can't buy anything good. It is just so poor. And Mount's just lost the ball so sloppily there. There is 4 minutes left in this one. Højlund takes the ball down. Wan-Bissaka looking forward, looking towards Anthony, just kicks it right out. I mean, it's this team, like, just from genuinely from top to bottom, there's just nothing in this team whatsoever. Is there? Like, there really isn't at this point, and I don't think there ever will be. And I don't think this team care enough to turn things around. Previous managers and previous teams, genuinely, with previous managers and previous teams, joke we got whenever things were going wrong, it was back to the walls and they fought the way through it. So Fresh is asking, what is happening? What happened? I mean, it's just the same story. We made a lot of changes going into this match, and players who inevitably have been running off crying about not getting picked for matches got picked today and put in an even worse performance than we had at the weekend against Man City. I mean, it's just abysmal. These players are shit. And look, I've said it several times in this stream, until this team is fully gutted out and 20 players are removed, we will never be a serious team. Until we genuinely throw these players out, take the hurt, have 1 or 2 bad seasons where things don't look good because we're still very much in a transition. If we're going to rebuild this team, don't just plaster over the cracks. Knock it all down. Start at the bottom, start at the back, build up your foundations, and you build it piece by piece with quality to last. That's going to weather the storms, weather the bad form, have genuine people in there who want to be at this club. Get rid of these players who have let down this team for the last 10 years, who have let down this club, this badge, the fans, everything. We've had 6 managers and 40 players in 10 years. It is not working. It never will work. We need to start over again. We need to seriously rethink how we operate as a football club, because we are going absolutely nowhere anytime soon. Right now, we are lost in the woods and we are just stumbling around in every direction. What we need to do is take the time and try find a way out. It's like being in a dark room. Instead of just stumbling over, tripping over yourself, falling over yourself, taking one step forward, two steps back. Take the longer time, take the longer way around, look for a light switch, get the light on, and everything becomes a lot easier when you at least plan it, when you at least know what you're doing. This team just cannot care. Old Trafford is empty. The fans have lost faith in this team, probably in this manager as well. Erik Ten Hag will get sacked, but nothing will change. Nothing will change. We will find ourselves in this position in 18 months' time. And I want to be proved wrong, but I know I won't be. Unless we genuinely throw 20 players out of this team, we're going to be in the same position, with the same shower of shit. And that's genuinely it. Lacanio says, I'm sorry to say this, but I can't believe I stayed up for this. This team lacks heart. The players do not have what it takes to take us to new height. I'm appalled. Bourne says Sir Jim can go to hell with the Glazers. The club needs a total reset, which was Qatar. I mean, that's just not going to happen now either. So it's going to have to be a Jim reset. They're going to have to do that. But look, we're losing 3-0 here. The players, no urgency, just kicking the ball nice and slowly. They're looking forward to a nice hot bath and sitting up in front of the fireplace when they go home. Because they could not give a shit. And as much as we want to say Ten Hag out, and as much as we want Erik Ten Hag sacked, and as much as Erik Ten Hag probably should go, these players don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about Ten Hag. They don't give a shit who the manager is. They don't give a shit about you or this club or this fan base or the history of this club, the culture, anything. All they care about is picking up their £200,000 per week. That is genuinely all these players care about. We've lost 3-0. It's an absolute disgrace. I mean, I've mentally checked out with this season. I'm mentally checked out with this group of players. And you know what? If people are on there genuinely thinking a manager is going to change this, then good luck to you. Enjoy being heartbroken in 18 months' time when it all goes wrong. Daniel says another dark day in United's history. I mean, these dark days are coming more and more and more and more. It is such embarrassing. It's unacceptable. It's inexcusable. Ten Hag will get sacked, and that's going to be it. And these players will live to fight another day. We've lost 8 of the 15 matches. Ten Hag's going to go. This is kind of the end of it. So Fresh is saying Ten Hag is a problem. Like Jimmy Carragher, I don't think any manager would get in this team. No, they're just looking at the easy way to explain it. It's not Erik Ten Hag. It never has been Erik Ten Hag. Has he made faults? Yes. Has he had his own problems? Yes. But it's the players. And if you cannot look at 10 years of history where 6 managers have gone in 10 years, then it's genuine delusion. It is genuinely being ignorant to score cheap points. This club need an absolute total reset from top to bottom. Manager has to go. Players have to go. Board has to go. Sir Jim Ratcliffe needs to come in and clear house. And I mean, it's not going to be Qatar as much as some people want it to be Qatar. So we may as well hope that Sir Jim is the guy to do it, because if not, it's never getting done. We're just going to be in this position for another 10 years. And that's genuinely it. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. But ultimately, I can't say I'm surprised. Cannot say I'm surprised whatsoever. Not at all. I'm done. Like, I'm done with these players and I'm done with this manager. Bourne is done. They're 100%. Players need sacked also. Absolutely. They just need sacked and they need to go as well. Guys, look, that's going to leave us here. We have had 2+ hours of this absolute shit show that is Manchester United. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will catch everyone in the next one. Have a good night and make sure this football club doesn't get you too far down, because ultimately these players, they don't care. So why should you? Thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you all in the next one.